Today we're going to talk about preparing the door hangers for distribution. So in the winter, one of the things that I do is I work on these door hangers, okay? And when I say door hangers, I'm talking about basically these little 4x6 postcards. We do a lot of business with these things. So for example, what could I be doing? Well, when the winter time comes, you, especially your lawn care guys, you have a lot of time on your hands because you're not doing a lot of outside work, okay? Where I'm at here in Wisconsin, my landscaping is done, the mowing is done. This gives me an opportunity to prepare for spring. So I don't just sit back and wait for spring to get here and then think, oh my God, I got to do some advertising, I got to call the papers, run some ads in there maybe, or I need to work on Facebook, or I need to work on the website. All of those things are done now. All that work is done now. So that way when spring comes, you guys are ready to hit the ground running. Okay? You don't want to be monkeying around with this kind of stuff when it's time to go. So, for example, let's talk about the very first thing is getting these things printed. Okay? So you've got to design them. It takes time to design these things. If you can see a close-up of this, this is a new one of our new vape stores that we just are opening. Okay? And this is one that we've taken a little time to design here. All of them take a little time to design. And I'm just going to show you guys what those are. As soon as my phone stops ringing in there. My phones never stop ringing. Okay, so I'm just going to keep moving on. So this one, for example, this is one of our landscape ones. It's one of our latest. And we've tried a lot of different ones, of course. And just give you an idea what those look like. And of course, if you guys want to read them, you can always pause them and come back to them. This is for our mosquito police business. Okay. So what I've done is basically get these all printed up ahead of time. I do have a printer who does a phenomenal job for me. And, very reasonable, more reasonable than I could find anywhere else. And if you guys are interested in using him, by all means, get a hold of me. Send me an email at george@familylawnandlandscape.com, and I'll put that in the link down below. You guys just let me know. I can hook you up with my printer guy who gives you a phenomenal deal on these things. Cheaper than you can get them done most anywhere else. So anyway, that being said, I'm going to tell you how I do this. So get them all made up ahead of time. Getting my materials, okay, I need to have these done, and what I do is I emphasize everything. If I'm going to be out there working my area, so for me, I need to do more than just one. If you had just a lawn care or landscape company, you have it simple. You can just take this thing and go with it, okay? And you basically just take these bags, you stick your card in here, and you don't even have to do this there's different ways to get these things out, okay? I'm going to talk a little bit, before I even get into that, I'm going to talk a little bit about the material into this thing. So there's different ways you can put them out. The first thing is you can just take these, go up to the door. This is why I like them, because you can slide them right in the crack of the door, or you can fold these things up. If you have a wide crack, you can fold them in, and this will wedge, and that'll hold them in place, okay? That's one way of doing it. What we're planning on doing for opening up, we have a grand opening for our new vape shop. What we plan on doing is just chucking these things. So I learned this down in Florida, and it's if you want to get them out fast, and we have like 10,000 of these that we're trying to get done, and we want to get them out fast. So basically we're going to have two guys in the car, one guy's driving, the other guy's chucking these in driveways as you go, okay? So let me show you the setup for that. You take one of each, try to put your most attractive things that you want people to see. Well, in my case, when I'm putting three of them together, so I want, this is highlighted, the picture of the family, this is nice, and you want those on the outsides because you don't know how this thing is going to land when you chuck it. But you take these, put them in these little sandwich bags, and this is where the rocks come into play. Luckily for me, I happen to have a garden center, but if you don't have a garden center, you can just go get yourself a bunch of these 5-gallon buckets full of rocks, and you just take them and put a weight in them. This is like a little bigger than a quarter, probably like a 50-cent piece. I stick this in there, and the other thing I do is I stick one of these little dum-dum stickers in here, okay? basically this is the look. This is what it is. Take this. Don't smile, you're gonna make me laugh. There's when I said dum-dum, wasn't it? Yep, stop it. Filming over here. All right, there's your setup. Bam, done. Move on to the next one. Grab the next one. Get it together. And of course, I'm gonna catch me. So I got them in the wrong position. So, fill these up. What else do you have to do? You guys are just sitting around anyway. If you've got your maintenance done, which you should have done by now. What we have found in the past, and not sure how well it works, but seems like if you can give them something free in here, you at least have the time it takes for them to open this thing up, put that sucker in their mouth, and then they'll take a few seconds to read these 3 things that we have. That's the hope. That's the plan, okay? Put them in these buckets. They go in your vehicle with you, and it's for fast distribution. Another good way to distribute these things is to order these type bags. They have this little hole in them right here, okay? And what you can do is take these 3. Don't worry about the rocks. They're a little tricky sometimes to get in here, but you can do it. Okay, these are set to go. Now when you have a flag that's on the mailboxes, drape this right over that flag and it just hangs there, okay? So that's another way. If you want to just go down the road and just hit mailbox after mailbox, this is another way that we get these things out, okay? So, having showed you that, so you got 2 different ways, right? 3 different ways. You can put them in the bags with the rock in them, and the rock is just used for weight. This helps you so that you can actually chuck these things up into them driveways. If you tried to do it with just these flyers in there, especially if you only have one for your business, and you're chucking it in the driveway, it's not going to go very far. The thing's just going to fly up in the air and drop right next to the road. So you want some kind of weight in that thing, okay? And that's the reason for the rocks, all right? So even with the stickers, you'd have to, or these little suckers, you would have to put 4 or 5 of these in a bag, and it would get kind of pricey when you go to do that. So basically, you have that method, you have the method of putting them on the mailbox, and then you have the method of driving up and putting them on the doors. Obviously, putting them on the doors takes time, a lot more time, because you've got to go right up to every door, okay? Putting them on the mailbox, next fastest way to do it, okay? Number 1, speediest way to do it is to take these and chuck them in the driveways, okay? So, there's a lot we're going to do, like in town, for example, we're going to be chucking these in driveways just because it's the middle of winter, and we're going to be up there, make sure it's not going to snow or anything like that, okay? Make sure they're plowed already. So, it's actually a good time to do it during the winter because you can still hit these people. You can still get their attention. And even though they'll pull these cards out, and I do believe this, the best time to get these out is when they're in need. So for example, the mosquito police business that we have, now obviously with the snow out is not the time because all the mosquitoes have hibernated. This is not an ideal time. However, as long as I'm going through the motions for my new store, up in this Rhinelander area, I am going to make the best of it. I'm going to do what I call a 3 contact rule, okay? I believe, and there's been studies done on this, that you need to hit customers at least 3 times. So you need to be in front of them. So there's a lot of things we do to get in front of them. One of them is our vehicles have wraps on them, okay? That's one sighting of ours that we may be or point of contact. They'd be like, oh yeah, I've seen you guys' trucks. Or we have the big billboard signs we put out as another type we use. We have the small, 2 foot by 2 foot or whatever little yard signs. We put those out. We have the smaller yard signs that we put out for when we do spray pesticides and such. So we have a lot of different ways to make contact with them. We have a website. It's another way to make contact with them. The door hangers, yet another way to make contact with them. So there's a lot of different things. So even though they're not going to call me for the mosquito thing, they may take this card and they may put it on their fridge and give me a call in the spring, okay? And as long as I have to drive through those neighborhoods and spend my time and money doing that, why not put these in there? It's another hit. So maybe they'll see it right now and it might go in the garbage can. But in the spring when I come back and I hit them again, now that's the second time they saw me with these, okay? Then I'll hit them again a month later, that's the 3rd time. If they've seen nothing else, if they haven't been to the website, they haven't seen the trucks, any of that, at least if I hit them 3 times, they're more apt to buy from you than they are if one just shows up on their driveway. Okay? That being said, let's move on to some of these products. Okay, so what I've learned is that you can get like these bags. Okay, we get them from this company. We get them off of Amazon is where I'm getting them. Okay, and you get them a lot better deal on these things if you buy them in bulk. Okay, like we do. We buy cases of these things. Okay, so the bags themselves, and that's another thing. There's a big difference in these bags. So I have found by far these guys seem to have the best bags so far. I've tried a lot of different bags over the years, and here's the other reason for putting them in the bag. So let's say you want to get these things out and they're at work. Okay, obviously you can't just put these things in their driveway. If they sit there and they get any moisture at all, they're just going to deteriorate and it's not going to be any good for you. By putting them in this bag, okay, now I've given them a barrier of moisture. Okay, so we can stop from them, getting wet and destroying what we're doing. All right, so that's the reason for the bags to begin with. That and the fact that it holds everything together. Very quick, throw it, it's done, and it's in their yard. Okay, so we talked about the bags. Same thing with these suckers. Okay, so if you look here, you will see we get these big bags. Okay, we order these big cases full of these things. Okay, there's like 500 of them in here. Okay, you can look around, you can find Tootsie Rolls, things like that, all kinds of different things that you want to put in there. This seems to be the most cost effective, I think, for the process of what we're doing when we're doing thousands of these things. All right, so you got your dum-dums here. You've got the rocks that you can go purchase anywhere. The bags, like I said, get those off of Amazon. The printing, we've talked about that a lot with you guys. We've kind of given you an idea. And again, your off season is a time to be worrying about this stuff, not when it's spring and it's time for you to be boots on the ground, out hustling, trying to get business. This is the time you want to be doing this stuff, all right? So, that being said, putting them together, just like this. You can do it at your kitchen table. You can just throw on a movie, sit here at night, have a couple beers, do whatever. That's the time to be putting these things together. We have bins like this just filled with these things. Come spring, we're just loaded up. The whole shop is loaded up so that we just have people that are just set up to do nothing but get these things out nonstop. And I'm part of that. I do that as well. So that being said, I guess, and the other thing is too, if you're looking for things to keep your guys busy during the winter time, this is something perfect to keep them busy. So you don't want your help to be, obviously you want to keep finding things for them to do in the winter months and the time when they're off, when it's not your prime time and it's time to just be boots on the ground making money. This is a perfect time for you to get your guys down, set them down. If you have rainy days, a lot of times if we get rained out on jobs and we don't have anything to work on in the shop, we'll do stuff like this. All right, so it's just something else that you can do to help your business along. So I hope that makes sense, and I hope everybody has learned something a little bit about how we do things, and just take it and use it. Use it in your own business. And if I can help you guys out, get a hold of me, send me an email, let me know that you'd like to get my guy's information, and he gets these things out. I think it's like $500 for 5,000 of them. Now it's time to distribute these bad boys. What we've noticed, which we did not really think about earlier, is we made some like this that we would just slide in the next to the mailbox or underneath the mailbox type of a thing, and of course not get in trouble with those guys. But what we didn't anticipate was the fact that there's so much snow by the mailboxes we can't quite reach it. So I don't think I made that mistake. I believe that guy made that mistake. So now we have to go to chucking. So that's what we're going to do now, and I'm going to take you along with me and show you how we chuck stuff. Alright, let's go, fellow chucker. Complete with rocks and a dum-dum sucker. Cole's favorite. Now here we go, right down the line. Yeah! Watch out for vehicles, especially with the rocks. Yeah! There we go. Look how fast you can get these things out. Ooh, that was a sweet one. It's kind of nice for the snow because you can tell who's home and who isn't. If they're not plowing their yard, there'll be a foot of snow in it. Right there. Right there. Right there. That is a schoolyard. You don't think we do that there, no. So anyway, yeah, we can get these out relatively quick when you chuck like this. So much faster than trying to stick them in a mailbox or up on a door. If I could get Grandma here to drive this thing. There's a bunch of people there. That's a business. All right, so get a box of these. Our trunk is literally filled with chuckers. And you just go, how come you didn't go back down that street?
To all these houses.
I see these. What's wrong with the houses that were back there? They're supposed to go down one side of the street and come up the other. But apparently we've had a change of plans because Genius over here doesn't think that that's a good way to go, even though it's the only way to go, so make sure you get good coverage. But again, I can't drive and chuck. You with me? I mean, probably off your phone or anything. But,
I'm looking at the map.
you know? Well, why don't you cry about it? Oh. It's always me doing a good job here. And the other ones, well, get, oh, should have chucked one at that guy back there. Mr. Opportunity. There you go. Get down. This side, get that side, drive this thing. Drive it like you stole it. Ooh, that house is condemned. Not a good choice. Alrighty. We're doing fabulous. Fabulous, darling, fabulous. A little slow, but
Can't do everything.
what do you mean? I'm trying. Stuck together. Like two birds of a feather. What? We need more rocks. All right, I gotta get some more focus going on here. Man, that is cold out there. Holy crap. Oops. There we go. Now, did you get that straight? I think that's the one you didn't get.
We did. Now we're coming over.
Are you sure? That was not mine. You threw that one. All right, so now you guys see how we get those flyers out and get them out quick. In the summertime, you can get them out a lot faster, especially if you have a good driver and not the one I'm stuck with. So I guess we're just gonna have to make the best of it. But anyway, hope you guys got taught something here. I don't know what, but hopefully you got taught something. All right, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, hit the likes button. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave me your comments down below. Thank you.